next. You stupid girl. If you had only married any of your suitors during the last 3 seasons, your future would have been assured, but now you will rot in shame as a spinster.
I see. This is now my fault. She stood up to leave. There was no point in trying to reason with him, just as always. Maria walked calmly until she passed the threshold, but instead of going to her chambers, she went out to the garden. The family would have to leave for the country before dawn in disgrace. The servants were already bustling about in preparation. Her father had been right about one thing. She should have married long ago, and this would then no longer have been her problem. Perhaps this would come to nothing. Her father had not been the criminal, after all, but no one wanted any hint of scandal attached to their bride or their name. She had seen it many times before. If they removed to the country quickly, then a wealthy landed gentleman might be willing to have her. Maria wanted to cry, but the tears would not fall. She was not a watering pot, but often thought it would be nice if she were. She sat in her childhood swing and mindlessly rocked back and forth. It was difficult to assimilate all that had happened, all that had changed in her life overnight. The scandal would doubtless die down eventually, but nothing would ever truly be the same. Besides, now she had lost respect for her father. She did not wish to return to the country and pretend nothing had ever happened. "May I?" Maria jumped. "Gabriel, you are far too good at sneaking up on people."
"I have had a great deal of practice," he remarked, sitting next to her on the bench swing that barely fit the two of them. Gabriel was a man of few words, so if he had sought her out, then she would listen. Still, he remained silent for a few minutes before speaking. "I am sorry you are caught in the middle. I had hoped to prevent you and Mother being hurt."
"I know you tried, Gabriel, and the real traitor was caught in the end. What do you mean to do now?"
Maria looked up at her brother, whose face was now hardened. Gabriel had always been more serious than most, but gone with the vestiges of boyhood. He was looking off into the distance, somewhere beyond the gardens and brick fence that surrounded it.
"Disappear?" "You are leaving, then? Will I ever see you again?"
"I do not know. Perhaps when Father is dead." Maria tried to choke back the emotion she felt.
"I cannot blame you. I wish I could leave so easily. Things will not be pleasant for some time."
Gabriel nodded. "I know." At least he didn't reiterate the fact that her chances of marrying a gentleman of her choice were virtually gone. He pulled a letter from his pocket. "This came for you." Maria could not imagine why anyone would have written to her. She would not be appearing in public for some time. She flipped the letter over.
"It is from Kate,"
she said as she broke the seal. Kate was one friend who would stand by her, she was sure of it. She scanned the words quickly.
"She has invited me to go to Paris with her."
"You should go," he said without hesitation.
"Society is small. People there will know."
"Perhaps, but you will find it matters less, and I will be nearby should you have need of something."
"Are you still intending to work for Wellington?"
she asked quietly. He nodded quickly. "Yes, but it will not be widely known. However, there will always be someone who can reach me." Maria had wanted to go to Paris for many a long year, but she doubted all of her woes would suddenly disappear once she was across the Channel. "You doubt me, but following the drum is different. There are still some of these society games to be endured, but they matter much less to those who must deal with war."
"I know you have found it difficult at times to go back and forth between military and civilian life."
"I have no patience for society, that is true. They have little appreciation for what it takes for them to have their freedoms." Maria knew she was guilty of that herself. She was grateful for those in the military and had seen veterans missing limbs before, but it was still difficult to imagine what it was like.
"Will I be near any battles?"
"Lord willing, Bonaparte's reign is over, but you will be with the army, so one can never be certain. I expect being with Owens and his wife you will be quite protected as part of Wellington's entourage." Maria had little choice, really. If she chose to hide in shame, the country would be her lot forever. At least this provided her with an opportunity to see some of the world. She could always retire to the country later to live out her life as a spinster if that was to be her fate. She reached over and took her brother's hand and squeezed it in a rare display of affection between them. He was several years older, and they had had little opportunity to be close.
"I will go. It will be a change of scenery, if nothing else."
"And you will be among friends. Everleigh will also look after you." Philip. She closed her eyes and tried not to think about it. Friendship was better than nothing, and he would stand by her.